So I've been following a story that Sophia Narwitz shared yesterday on her Twitter feed, and I'm gonna leave her handle in the description below. You should follow her because she covers a lot of things in the gaming industry. It has to do with Just Cause 4 and the effects that the motion blur is having on people. It's making people physically sick. And when you have graphic effects of this nature, it's always one of those things where a certain percentage of the people might get motion sick. If you look at VR, for example, the reason they want to keep you stationary and not move in these VR games is because it tricks your brain, and 50, 60, 70% of people in some cases end up getting motion sick. Now, motion blur is an effect in video games which most people would recommend to turn off. It's occasionally used to good effect in situations like racing games, but for the most part, it's a setting that costs you performance in exchange for something most people actually dislike. This is according to PC Gamer. Especially in fast-paced games like first-person shooters, motion blur is something to avoid. It's one of those settings that most people should turn off. Now, when you look at the Twitter feed post, she asks, legit question, does watching this make any of you all sick? So far, one other staffer at Niche Gamer, also a good website, experienced the same issues as me. Not sure if the video quite shows it off, but it's what it's like to play the game, but it makes me actually nauseous. And you can see a lot of the questions. This is on PS4. And people are saying an extreme case of blur that is buggy, not working as intended. Holy crap, that motion blur, it actually hurts my head. I've never had any problems. She showed it to me. My eyes hurt badly very quickly. I wouldn't say this is probably affecting everybody, but certainly it's something that is an issue, and it's something that most people turn off. But in this case, Just Cause does not allow you to turn it off. And after some digging, when I looked at just some, Google searches, I wanted to see how widespread this issue actually was. How many people were affected by the motion blur? And it turns out that this has been a long-standing issue, specifically in Just Cause. You have motion sickness, Just Cause 3, horrid motion blur, Just Cause 4, feeling sick in the game, Just Cause 3. I found this problem all the way back to the second in the series. Here's Just Cause 2, makes me feel sick, nausea, motion sick, feeling sick in motion, Just Cause 3. I feel okay with every other FPS and third-person games, but in this game, I feel dizzy, and it makes me want to throw up whenever I'm moving around. I turned off motion blur, depth of field, and edge fade. It's better now, still bad. Now, the issue is, in Just Cause 4, you cannot turn this off, and it's a feature that is highlighted here in Sophia's video as well, which I'll link in the description below, which I thought was very well done. And it's a curious question. I couldn't find this being addressed by development in any situation, and you just see post after post after post. Game facts: horrid motion blur, Just Cause 4. After the tutorial and intro, that was fine. Any movement with the right analog stick, the background, no matter close or far, blurs out. It hurts my eyes. I do not like this. I do not know how long I can deal with it. I even set the camera sensitivity to 1, just testing things and moving the camera super slow. Everything still blurs out. Makes no sense having everything blur out with the slow and the slightest move of camera, which makes me think it's a bug of some sort. I'm hoping that it is a bug and it can be fixed. Outside of this, I love it, but it's a game breaker for me. I cannot play longer than 10 minutes. I feel weird, like I'm going to throw up. And I play a lot of games for a very long time. I never get motion sickness, ever. Motion blur is far too aggressive, or it's bugged at the moment. Now, this is just 2 days ago. People are still talking about it. We have it continue. My eyes are effed. I can't play this. It's so bad. The second you stop, everything goes back to normal. Eyes adjust. Move. It blurs horrendously. Eyes to adjust. Stop. Eyes readjust again. Every second it's like this. I'm getting a refund for now. That one thing ruins the game. You could see a lot of things. The motion blur is horrendous. Whoever designed it should get fired. Basically, or playing on basic or enhanced console, it looks great on my Xbox with full HDR. Now, I don't know. This is exactly how Just Cause 3 was. Have people just forgotten? It's clearly a performance hack in the game. The quote new engine, which is really the exact same engine, and this proves it. Now people are saying, no way, the motion blur is way worse in this one. It's interesting. I don't know what can be done about this. Certainly, you would hope that they roll out an update that allows at least PlayStation users, from what I can tell, the option to turn this off. And I'm curious, has any game ever made you feel this way? VR kind of does this for me, but not to the point of getting nauseous, but to the point of where I feel my eyes feel fatigued after some time. Like I just, they're tired of having to adjust to everything all the time. And they're just telling me to close my eye for a minute. And that's not really the experience I want from a video game. So I'm hoping that they get this corrected, and maybe more people should reach out to the developer if they are in fact having this problem, because it seems like a relatively easy fix to turn it off, or give players the option to turn it off. However, if it's actually bugged, that's probably a more complex issue that needs to be addressed, because certainly you don't want that kind of reputation for your game where it's making people physically ill and nauseous and throw up from playing it. I don't know. I'm interested to hear if you're playing Just Cause 4. I know it's not reviewing amazingly. There are a lot of in-game bugs and glitches on top of this motion blur issue, but I don't think I've ever really seen this long of a history of a game having this issue, making people feel queasy playing it. Now, I've seen some games that have made me feel queasy, but that's mostly because of the stuff that goes on inside the game, not just watching the game. And as a final note on the way out the door here, friend of the channel, V, you might know him as Furry V. He's not really Furry V, I don't think, but he's doing a great job on his YouTube channel, and we were just talking, and he's at 99,000 subscribers. He's just 1,000 away. He covers a lot of the same things I do, but he sounds like Count Dracula. So if you like a little fun and excitement, you can see here he stole my thumbnail, but we talk about that. We're friends. And he talks about some censorship issues, a lot of the same issues I do. So I'm going to leave a link in the description below. If we could push him over 100K, I know it would mean a lot to him. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you don't mind that little plug at the end. But part of being fortunate in that, for whatever reason, my channel is growing really well, is you've got to pay it forward. And that always means, I always will maintain that. So if I'm able to pay it forward, I will. And just like I am by investing in exclusively games, that website, hopefully that continues to grow. I'm really hoping we can unlock at least the tier where we can do reviews. That would be amazing. I hope you enjoyed this video, though. I've got a lot more to talk about. I might end up with 3 uploads today. I'm not totally sure, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Before you leave, make sure you click that thumbs up button. We'll talk to you again real soon.